Hello and welcome to another episode of Those Two I Am Guys. I'm James Kennedy and I'm here with my co-host Tony Earp. Today, Tony, we're talking about funnels.
We are, James. How are you today, my friend? You okay?
Fantastic, fantastic. Delighted to be alive, delighted to be here once again.
Yeah, we love doing the show for all our viewers and listeners, mate, don't we? Yeah, apologies to our viewers and listeners as well, because this has been delayed a few days. Basically down to me, because I had the wife's worst nightmare, the dreaded man flu, which, you know, is obviously the worst thing you can ever get in the world, James.
Yeah, it's a proven fact that because of the male genes, it actually affects us 1,000 times harder than a woman. So you ask any woman, they will tell you that.
Fortunately, I recovered pretty quickly. Such a devastating illness. But yeah, today we're going to talk about funnels. And again, for the benefit of our viewers and listeners, any resources we mention during this episode, guys, we will add them to the recommended resources page on our website, okay? So don't need to worry about that. If you miss something, just go to our website, check out the recommended resources. It will be on there. Everything to do with this, everything that we mentioned in this episode, yeah?
Awesome. So, Tony, some of our viewers and listeners won't know what a funnel is. I think the majority shall know a rough idea, but how would you define, in layman's terms, what is a funnel?
Okay, so the big question, what is a marketing funnel? How do they work and why are they important? Yeah. Well, basically, the best way to think about a marketing funnel is this: it's a visual representation of the steps that a visitor takes when they first find your product or your service, until they convert, hopefully, into a sale. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically the definition of a funnel.
Yeah. I was actually having a conversation with another guy recently, and you know, we all kind of think of a funnel as like a big shape at the top and going down, and he had a different opinion on it entirely. He looked at it as like a nice slope where they kind of get in on the top and they automatically just keep sliding down to become a customer. And I thought it was really quite a new way to look at it.
You'll get all sorts of different concepts depending on who you listen to, James. Another one is that they're walking down a corridor and they're closing a door at each step, and you know, all these different analogies. Yeah. But the fact is, it's a sequence of steps that are linked together, that your customer goes through that process from when they enter that sequence of steps until they come out the other end. Yeah. What's your experience with funnels, James? Have you used them very much?
Do you know something, Tony? Honestly, I've done opt-in pages and things like that, which is the start of most funnels, you know, where you're giving that free lead magnet away. And I've never really created the big autoresponder type process that kind of ties in with these things, or have built all the steps out after that lead so they are instantly going down that route. I would have liked to say I've done more, but I've never really done it, you know, and it's one of those things that I've never had the product before now, obviously.
Yeah.
Before now, I've never really had the types of products that kind of had all the added extras to create a decent quality funnel, you know.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest questions that I get asked is, how many steps should I have in a funnel? And the honest answer is, there's no ideal number. It really depends on what you need during your marketing sequence. For example, you know, we've seen it ourselves, James, haven't we, with products we've purchased. Some funnels may have 4 steps in them. Some funnels may have 12 steps in them.
It's like some of them are like the never-ending story.
Upsells, downsells, sideways sells, you name it, you know what I mean? So there's no actual hardcore defined number of steps that you should have in the funnel, guys. It's whatever fits your particular project. One thing I will say is that funnels is a massive topic in this episode, we're going to give an overview of that, James, yeah?
Yeah.
And for our more experienced viewers and listeners, they may know a lot of this already, but they may pick up a couple of golden nuggets along the way, yeah? Certainly for anyone that's a beginner, a lot of what we're going to go through is going to be absolute gold for them. Because they're obviously a blank canvas, they won't know anything, yeah? So what I want to make them aware of is there's different types of marketing funnels. You know, funnels is just a word. You've got sales funnels, you've got webinar funnels, you've got email funnels, video marketing funnels, lead magnet funnels, and homepage funnels. You know, so there's lots of different types of, you know, there's lots of different types of sequences that fall under the category of funnels, James, yeah? I'm sure you were aware of pretty much most of those, at least 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, the one that kept jumping into my head when you were talking about there was self-liquidating funnels. That seems to be a buzzword right now, doesn't it? Self-liquidating funnels.
Yeah, I mean, what's your understanding of a self-liquidating funnel?
Basically, the cost of the ad spend is covered with the front end product usually. And then obviously from that, but that again, that could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I mean, basically the way a self-liquidating funnel works, James, is, and you're right, it's usually when you're running paid ads to, you know, to a particular offer. Usually that offer is a lead generation page because you want to capture the person's name and email initially. Where the self-liquidating part comes into is after you've captured the lead. You will then send them to a paid offer, a one-time offer, and if they purchase that, or you know, if there are any other additional one-time offers in the funnel, the profit that you make from those purchases is what covers the ad spend, and hopefully not only covers the ad spend but makes you a profit as well, yeah?
Yeah. So
that way you've achieved 2 things. You've self-liquidated the funnel, it's costing you nothing to run that paid traffic, but you're also capturing the lead as well, so you can remarket them later on, yeah?
And as we always say, the money's in there.
The money's in the list. It's an old saying, as old as the internet itself, certainly as old as internet marketing. But
even way before that, the money was in the papyrus back in the day.
Yeah, the fact is, James, where online's concerned, it's still your most valuable asset even today, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So another question, you know, why the marketing funnels matter? And that's because they provide us with key data, James. You know, with a lot of the specialist funnel tools, you can create a marketing funnel report, and that's going to give you loads of data that will allow you to see where you're losing customers in your funnel. Yeah, it's sometimes called, sometimes the terminology leaky funnel is used, basically because that allows that's allowing your customers to escape the funnel at some point. So what that analytics and that data does, it allows to see where they're leaving your funnel, so where your funnel's leaking, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard that term before anyway.
Yes, yeah. I'll be honest with you, the kind of stats and all that stuff just do not excite me. This kind of falls into the SEO kind of.
Yeah, do you know something though?
You need to know your numbers.
It's even more, that data, that funnel, that leaky funnel data is even more important than the design of the web pages or anything.
Yeah. Even
the quality of the product.
I know, and that's something that kind of gets me every time. But yeah, as I say,
I mean, one thing we both agree in is that, you know, the product should always be quality.
Absolutely.
But the fact is that you can have a weak product with an amazing solid funnel that's got very little leakage, that earns more revenue because of that, than a quality product where the vendor doesn't gather this data, they don't know where their funnel's leaking, so it's less profitable.
Yeah.
So this data is crucial. you know, it's crucial that you minimize the leakage on your funnel as much as possible, James, to make it more profitable. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And again, it's one of those things that, I mean, I kind of cringe about it, because for me, it's always been the product is the ultimate thing, you know, because I want my product, I want to put 99.9% of my effort into that product. But again, if you don't put the same effort, if not more, into your funnel, nobody's ever going to own it. Nobody will ever buy it. And all that money, time, and effort is gone. It's wasted. So I think it's equally as important, but almost more important, you know, and I kind of, it pains me to say that, you know, because I don't like that concept, because it should be all product driven, but without the audience, without the buyers, there is no product. There is no growth of that product.
There's no, you know, do's or don'ts about it, James. It's critical. Yeah, that data is critical. I mean, when someone goes to your website or your landing page or whatever, you need to know the data from the conversions, don't you? And by conversion, we mean, you know, they sign up to your newsletter or your free ebook, you know, they make a purchase, they fill out a form, whatever the case may be. Those actions are known as conversions. So you need to know what percentage those conversions are at.
And probably one of the OTOs in the list, or one of the offers, if you like, if one's not converting at all, then you can pull that out of the whole thing. If it's
well, yeah, you may look at if you've got a lot of leakage on a particular part of the funnel, what we call a one-time offer, you know, generally. Let's say that one-time offer in particular in the funnel just isn't converting. You may want to look at reducing the price of that. It could be the price point's too high, James. Yeah. And if you've got another OTO that is converting really, really well, you may want to look at increasing the price on that. So it's finding that balance, but you can't do that without this critical data. And that's what these, you know, the funnel reports are going to do.
It's very exciting when you kind of get your head around it, but again,
you've got to track your data and conversions, James. There's no two ways about it. It's critical to the success and profitability of the funnels. And that's what the funnel report will do. It'll show you where people are dropping off in the funnel path. You know, what the conversions are, and that way you can optimize your funnel to make it as profitable as possible.
Awesome. So do you want me to ask you a question on it, or do you want to tell us something else? Because I believe you've probably got a list of things that you want to go through there.
Yeah, I've got a few things I'm going through as we have this chat, but have you got any particular questions yourself?
Yeah, and I think it's one of the things that a lot of people don't really know where to start with funnels. So if you were to start tomorrow, and this is me asking you a question, if you were to start again tomorrow, knowing the knowledge that you know today, what software would you use? And would there be any books, courses, or products you would buy to actually find out much more in depth? I know I've bought quite a lot from a certain funnel provider. I don't want to kind of market and promote anybody here, because but I've got a lot of books and things that have came from that person, and it's done. I've found it interesting, but I've never actually used it or implemented it. But I would like your advice on this, you know, because you're much more seasoned in this industry than me.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the biggest questions I get asked, James, is, you know, how do I build a funnel? What do I use to build a funnel? And there are some very, very top quality specialist tools, as you know, James, like ClickFunnels, for example.
That's what I was
probably be the most well-known one, that are specifically developed for this purpose. And everything we've already talked about, you know, the building of the pages, the building of the membership area to deliver the product after purchase, all the, you know, collecting all the data, running all the marketing reports, so you can see that that key, you know, that critical key data, and the conversion stats, etc. That type of a tool does all of that for you. But as we both know, that comes at a cost.
It does, and quite a hefty cost, I've got to say.
Yeah, I mean, I've never even looked at it. It's never been of interest to me because I build my funnels using all the tools that are less expensive.
I think it's minimum is $99 a month, and then when you do more than 2 or 3 different funnels, I think, and I can't remember how many it is, so don't quote me on that, but it then goes up to $299 per month. Yeah. But my biggest concern for this product is the fact that if you ever leave the subscription, everything's lost. You know, you can't export your content or your data out of it. You know, it's gone. So
yeah, this is something we touched on in a previous episode about.
Yeah, when we were talking about CloudFunnels.
Yeah, but just for, again, the benefit of our viewers and listeners, what we mean by self-hosted, guys, is that the platform hosts your pages and your funnels for you. If at some point you decide to leave that platform, you lose everything.
Yeah.
You're always better, in my opinion, to host your funnels yourself on your own hosting that you're in control of. That way, especially as a new marketer, you know, a commitment of $97 to $297 a month is a big financial commitment.
Huge.
Especially if you're not making money in the early days, James.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you, Tony. Totally. 100%.
So, you know, don't fall into that trap, guys, because there are other options available. Other options could include Convertry. That's a great product.
Is that not a yearly fee as well, or something?
It is yearly now, but it was when it first launched. It was a one-time payment. I was fortunate enough to get in at that time. But yeah, I believe that is subscription now, James, but it's not quite as expensive as ClickFunnels, I don't think. Okay. You've obviously a great alternative is one of our good friend Cyril's products, who we had on the show a few weeks ago. CloudFunnels.
Yep.
Again, that does pretty much everything we've discussed during this conversation and more for a one-time payment.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, I mean, one of the things I like about when we've got Cyril on the show, you can see how empowered he is with the product. He's like, he lives the products that he creates. And you know, there's a lot of passion there, and he's like, he wants to change the world, you know, one product at a time, you know, and I love that about him.
I think what's important as well is that, you know, again, he's got that enthusiasm for the product, for the product, James, and if he hasn't got that for his own products, there's a problem, isn't there?
Yeah, of course.
You know, the other thing I will applaud Cyril for is his customer services is really good.
Yep.
And he maintains it and updates his products on a regular basis. So, you know, if you're looking to invest in a funnels platform that's not WordPress related, that's HTML, then certainly take a look at CloudFunnels V2. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely.
Talking about WordPress, you know, I do use CloudFunnels for some of my projects, James, but for the majority, I use WordPress.
Okay.
And I use that with a particular page builder that's my preference, but there's lots of great ones out there. But I use Elementor.
Okay.
And
I've conversations about Elementor today, actually.
No, I mean, even Elementor Pro, I think it's about $67 a year.
Okay, which not huge
compared to other products is, you know, affordable to most people. Yeah, absolutely. WordPress, of course, is free. And the thing about WordPress combined with Elementor is that you've got such flexibility. You've got tons of free resources at your disposal. You've got tons of great resources that are free with Elementor as well as with WordPress. I did actually come across a really cool product a few days ago, which looking at the demo, I've not tested it out yet, James.
Okay, you froze up, Tony.
Real possibility. Yeah. Did you hear me?
I can hear you now. You said you looked at a product a few days ago.
Yeah, I looked at a product sorry, I think we froze up there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Looked at a product a few days ago that I came across. I've not tested it out yet, but I'm going to. But it looks really interesting, and it's a plugin for WordPress called WP Funnels.
Okay.
And it allows you to visually create your funnels on the dashboard in WordPress.
Right.
And connect all your pages and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Well, that sounds quite interesting.
And again, when I add all the recommended resources to our website, James, I'll include this as well.
That sounds interesting. I'd quite like to have a look at that.
And I'll just clarify, guys, it won't be an affiliate link. It'll just be a raw link to that product. Do your due diligence, have a look at the demo. But from what I've seen so far, it looks very promising. Yeah.
Right. Excellent. Excellent.
But again, my preference, WordPress with Elementor. I build 90% of my funnels that way.
And with Elementor, do they have any pre-built funnels for people, for our members that have never created a funnel before, to actually follow along? Is there anything like that?
They do have pre-done templates, yeah.
Oh, right, okay, that's good to know. As I say, as you know, I mean, I use GERU funnels for a few things as well.
Yeah.
GERU's like an all-in-one platform, but again, it's all hosted by them. Well, it's not actually. You usually host it by. Yeah, I think it is still hosted by them. I need to check that out. But as I say, there's so many options out there. But I think, as you spoke about earlier, there's ones out there that are a little bit more advanced. GERU is trying to create a whole subculture, you know, a culture just for everything that you would need. So they're not quite there with everything yet. But again,
I mean, I would never invest in something like ClickFunnels personally, James, and that's only because of the fact they host everything.
Yeah.
If there was a way of me downloading my pages and hosting them myself, I would probably go for it because it is a great platform.
It's purpose built.
Let's stress it, guys. It's purpose built. It's a great platform.
Yep.
The negative for me is that they host everything. I don't like that. Yeah. I'm handing over control of my business, my funnels.
You don't own it anymore, do you? Really?
Sorry.
You don't really own your business anymore.
No, you don't.
Because ultimately, if they go bust or anything, and I don't see that happening, it's a multi-million-pound model. But again, but if anything ever happened to that platform, everybody's down, you know.
Yeah. And that's the benefit, the additional benefit with something like CloudFunnels version 2, or WordPress with Elementor, or this new product I spotted, WP Funnels. You know, the beauty about them is that you can self-host everything.
And you can also host it on 2 platforms. You can have a backup platform as well if you wanted. So if something went wrong, you could then just change the DNS.
I think if you've got the option to download your funnels and host them yourself, then you know the platforms we've mentioned are worth looking at. If you're not, I would seriously ask the question of yourself: do you want to be in control of your business, or do you want to put that in the hands of somebody else?
Yeah.
And my personal answer to that is no, I don't. I want to be in control of my funnels, and when I put them live, when I take them offline.
Incidentally, Groove, you can export your full websites on HTML. So
yeah, I mean, you're more familiar with. Don't get me wrong, I know Groove's a good platform, James, but you're more familiar with that than me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you know, obviously Mike Fulsame, great guy, great marketer. They've done amazing things with that platform, especially over the last year or so.
Oh, absolutely.
It's come on leaps and bounds, hasn't it, to what it was when it first launched.
I think the challenge we've got is there's a lot. What we're kind of trying to say, guys, is there's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of great products. All have their pros, all have their cons.
Yeah.
Tony's preference, without a doubt, is obviously Elementor with WordPress. And I would say at the moment, I'm still 100% on Groove just now, but I'm now starting to open my eyes up to CloudFunnels version 2, because that really appeals to having up some of my products out on that as well, to I get to use it and learn how to use it a little bit more. But it's very clever as well, but it's not as kind of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. it's a little bit more complicated to work out than maybe something like ClickFunnels or something like that. A little bit more learning involved.
I think ultimately, James, as with most things, especially for a new marketer, it comes down to budget.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
You know, if you're going to be investing in something like ClickFunnels, you need to be making sure you've got the income in to cover the cost of that, and you can justify the spend.
Or at least you've got another half dozen affiliates that want to buy it from you, and then that then covers your kind of fees as well.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying. You know, a lot of new marketers that are just starting out, they need to. Overhead is the killer, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Overhead, especially for a new business, is the worst thing ever. It's the thing that will allow you to grow or kill your business before it started. Yeah. Tony, so for a new marketer to be able to use a free option or a relatively free option like WordPress and Elementor or another preferred page builder, you know, it reduces a significant cost from building your funnels, James, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen it so many times in the mentor group that I run, and people are, oh yeah, I'm going to build the thing. I'm going to build my business. I want to set up with ClickFunnels. I want Infusionsoft to run this. I want Hootsuite, the big package to do all this. And then when you boil it all down, you're going to have to earn £2,000 a month just to cover the cost of the tools.
Yeah,
this is all right for businesses that are doing exceptionally well already.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the basic costs for running your online business, well, you're looking at hosting, you're looking at an autoresponder minimum.
Yep.
You're looking at domain costs. You're looking at, you know, funnel builder, a page builder, website builder of some kind. Before you know it, you can quite easily, if you get carried away and start saying yes to everything and buying everything, especially where funnels are concerned, you can quite easily find yourself, you know, going up towards that $1,000 a month.
And that's not even going crazy.
You know, start going towards that $1,000 a month amount quite easily before you even bat an eyelid, yeah? Before you earn the dime.
And how long can you sustain that? That's the question you've got to ask yourself, you know.
With WordPress, with Elementor or an alternative preferred page builder, even a free one, you've got minimum, virtually free expense, James, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, once you sort your hosting out, you know, and then once you've bought a domain, you can find
got to start
you're going to have to put time and effort in, though. There's going to be a lot more work involved there.
If you're going to invest money in anything, I would say invest in good hosting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it doesn't matter how good your pages are, how good your funnel is, how it could be 100% leak proof. It doesn't matter if your hosting is crap, because your pages are going to load slow. It's going to, you know, you might get hacked because of the, you know, it's got really rubbish security on the hosting service. So you need to take all this into consideration, guys, and invest in quality hosting. That is the foundation of your business. You wouldn't build a house on ground that was moving, would you, James? No,
definitely not. And you know, as you say, it's funny you should say that, because my tourism website was hosted on a big alligator website to start with and got hacked to death, and then they wanted mega money for this other sister company of theirs to take all this stuff off. And then I just totally started from scratch again, went to another company who was exceptional, and then they were bought by a big alligator, and then they became much less quality. And now I'm with the one that you're with. And again, I've never had a problem with any of my websites, you know, and don't be wrong, I'm paying a lot more for my hosting now. You know, I'm going to tell you with complete transparency, I'm paying probably 3 times as much, but the peace of mind that I get from what I'm paying for is absolutely worth it, hands down.
Yeah, and you're better off you're a wise man, because you're better off investing in solid hosting than spending a fortune on a page builder, because the hosting will have bad hosting will have a negative effect unless they're hosting your pages, of course. That's a different situation. But again, as we've already established, there's a cost to that, isn't there?
Of course.
So yeah, my personal preference is CloudFunnels and WordPress with Elementor. That doesn't mean it has to be yours, guys, but if you want a really affordable way to build, to start building your funnels, that's good. They're great options for you. And if you're going to spend any money on anything that's important, do it on your hosting. Yeah.
Incidentally, at the end of the video, we might put one of the links up for the CloudFunnel interview with Cyril, because that was quite a substantially beneficial call, even just to watch and see what's going on in his mind. You could probably learn a lot from that.
And that video, that episode's on our channel, on our YouTube channel anyway, James, or in our podcast.
So if you haven't seen it, check it out, guys.
You'll be able to find that, guys, anyway. Just search CloudFunnels.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to talk about probably the most overlooked thing in funnel building that's missed by 99% of people.
Okay.
And that is funnel simulation, James.
Yes, we were.
Now, I know you're a little bit aware of this.
Yeah.
So when I say the words funnel simulation, what does that mean to you?
Well, I know a bit about this because I bought a software very recently, and I think it's great. And it's kind of creating the funnel before you create the funnel. It's almost like if you look at an architect's plans for a new house, it is, in my opinion, that's the way I would describe it, as an architect's plan for the funnel. So it's a 1,000-foot overview of what's here, what's the sales page, where does the sales page go? If people don't buy, is it going to take them somewhere else? And building it out like that. And potentially, obviously, if you know what your ad spend is or potential ad spend, you can then create a simulation of how much that funnel will bring in to, if you put in $100, how much will it pay out at the other end? Yeah,
you're pretty right in what. Well, you've not said anything wrong there, mate. Just so to expand on that a little bit more for our viewers and listeners. Yeah, with funnel simulations, guys, as James said, it's a way of you visually seeing by planning out visually your funnel in these tools and entering KPIs, key performance indicators, of pretty much you knowing what you need to be achieving for your funnel to be profitable, James. Yeah?
Absolutely.
So if you know ahead of time, what you need to be, how much you need to be paying for your clicks or your cost per 1,000 views or whatever, depending on what ads you're running, and you need to know, all the price points of all your products in the funnel, and what you need to convert at each stage to be making a profit at the end of the funnel. I think that's pretty valuable information, James, don't you?
It's incredible. And I'll tell you why, because I was just playing with it, and I created the funnel that I'm working on, not in the product that we're working on right now, but the one that I've been working on for my life nearly. And I just put figures in at the start, and then I just adjusted those figures slightly. And it's amazing how it affects the profit levels.
Yeah, just changing, for example, on the front end, if you change a 10% conversion to an 11% conversion, the difference in profit on the final output is crazy.
It'll blow your mind, absolutely. Yeah. And as you say,
let's say you were paying $1 per click. Again, it's all going to depend. That's just an example, guys. It depends on your niche, etc., of course, and what platform you're using. But let's say you were paying $1 a click, or you input into the simulator that you were going to pay $1 a click. But when it actually came to the point of you doing your advertising, you were only paying 50 cents a click. When you change that in the simulator, the difference that makes to your end profit is crazy, James.
Yeah, you feel like a lotto winner, honestly. I mean, and I've done those numbers, and it's quite incredible how it can, because it's not just like this little percentage. It's like if that percentage converts at the front end, but so many convert in OTO and this OTO and that OTO, then it's like, wow, you know, it's incredible.
What funnel simulators do for me, and I'll stress the importance of this to our viewers and listeners. If you're not including this as part of your funnel building process, you're going into your project blind, guys. Simple as that. This is a critical part of the funnel building process, and it will pretty much allow you to eliminate your funnel being a failure or costing you money. Because ultimately the aim is to make money, James, isn't it?
Of course it is. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, and I was just thinking about that because the product that I use is just a great product.
I'm just going to go through a few options now, James, anyway. But I know which one you've got because you use the same one that I use.
Yeah.
And
I only found that out yesterday.
The product that myself and James use, guys, is called GERU. Yeah. GERU. It is available at a one-time payment, I think, still at the moment, James.
I was just checking that just now.
But I don't think that's going to be for long, guys. So I'd go and check it out as soon as possible, yeah, because I know there's been sort of, I'm hearing that they're going to move to a subscription model, yeah?
Yes, that they are actually moving to a subscription.
Yeah, another option, and this particular platform does have a free version, but it's very limited. And aside from that, it's subscription. But that's called Market Plan, James. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not familiar with Market Plan, but what I'll tell you just now is...
I'm pretty sure it's marketplan.io. That's another really great quality funnel simulation tool to check out, guys.
And at the time of obviously recording the video, the standard version of GERU is going to be $37 per month, but there's a one-time lifetime account for $67, and the pro version will be $79 a month, and it's got a one-time lifetime offer on that, $164. So not a fortune, but obviously still not pennies, but it's very good quality.
James, while you're there, can you just look up Market Plan as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to check that out. Just
and again, guys, this just gives you an idea of costs of these funnel simulators, but they're imperative, as I say, to your funnel building process. Yeah, they're critical.
Market Plan,
because you know it's going to enable you to not build a funnel blind.
Exactly. So
you're going to be able to know what you need to achieve, you know, what KPIs you need to achieve for it to be profitable. Yeah.
Okay, so the solo one is free, and that's one user, one plan. The starter package is $9 a month. So obviously, I know $9 a month doesn't sound a lot, but when you pay it over the year, you know, we're over $100 a year, and then you're kind of talking about how many years are you going to have it, and that gives you 10 plans on it, and pros 29 a month, and then agency 79 a month. So,
right. Okay.
You know,
yeah. Another one as well that was launched recently by the owners of Convertri, actually, is called Simulatory.
Yeah.
I think that's still in the launch period at the moment, James. So it's probably going to be one-time payment on the front end.
Yeah,
but no doubt at all, because I know the Convertri guys. No doubt at all that after launch that will be subscription only. That
absolutely, and let me just go and check the pricing out for that as well if I can. So that's the front end of that is $67. And
that's one-time payment, James. Is it?
It's a one-time payment. Yeah,
that'll be during the launch period. That
and if you upgrade to the Pro, that'll give you kind of more tools, and that's another $67 at the moment during the launch. So that's those. That'll give you an idea.
Yeah. Okay. So there's three really great funnel simulation tools, guys: GERU, Market Plan, and Simulatory. And go and check all those out.
Brilliant. Yeah, excellent.
Go for the one. Do your due diligence. Go for the one that's affordable for you. But I stress, get one of them.
Yeah.
Or find an alternative. Me and James don't know every single, funnel.
Oh, not everything, but I think we've got a good finger in the pulse.
we don't know every single funnel simulator online. We
No.
know the ones that we come across and the ones we use.
Yeah.
And they're three that we can, stand behind, basically, because we use them ourselves, or we know the vendors. Yeah.
Thoroughly impressed with GERU, without a doubt.
Yeah, GERU's great. Market Plan's great. I've used that in the past. And Simulatory, I've not used it. Total transparency, but I know the Convertory guys, and I know the quality of the product they build, and I've no doubt that is going to be, equally of the same quality.
One of the really cool things I like about GERU is the fact that you can have alternative scenarios. So you can create your funnel, and then you can create a new scenario and change the percentages slightly, and then you can look at them as a comparison, which is quite incredible.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of flexibility in there, James.
Amazing. Yeah.
And I can tell just by listening to you after using GERU, even though it be minimally, you've been shocked by what that's told you.
Blown me away, Tony, to be honest, because, as I say, trying to work out how much it's going to cost to promote my mastermind circle, as you know, that's going to be coming soon, and trying to work out, okay, so what do I need to do to make that work? How much money do I need to sell that for to make it viable? Because if you don't know how many clicks it's going to cost you to get somebody on board, it's all these tiny little elements. You could be kind of chasing your way to ground zero in your bank, quite quickly if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what these funnel simulators do, James, isn't it? They stop you going into your project blind.
Absolutely.
You can lay your funnel out visually. You can put your KPIs, your key performance indicators in there. So the cost of your ads, your price points for your product, what you're hoping conversion rates are going to be.
Yeah.
And that may be based on, you may have sold the product previously. You may know that generally it converts at 10, 11, 12%, 5%, whatever the case may be, James. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it allows you to tweak things during that, during that promotion time period.
The testing process,
during that promotion time period. If you're running your ads, you can check your stats on a daily basis, enter those new stats into your funnel simulator, and you'll get the reality of what those changes mean in actual profit.
Well, so it can be night and day. It can be night and day.
It can be. It can be the difference between you when you input those, when you update those figures on a daily basis, James. It can be the difference between you seeing how profitable your funnel is, or seeing if you're losing money.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know money, you could turn your ads off until you tweak a few things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a lot of people now kind of with Facebook ads, and they're talking about, I can help you grow your business as long as your product is a high ticket product. And the reason that they're telling you that is because they're talking about your product needs to be $1,000 so that you can go out there and hammer the Facebook market, because you've got enough margin in that funnel to make that viable, as opposed to if you're selling something that's a bit more competitively priced, you need to be a lot cleverer,
James, it's again, paid advertising is another topic for another day. I mean,
another month.
But there's so many different parameters in paid advertising.
Yeah.
Regardless of the platform, Facebook, Google, Bing, whatever the case may be, YouTube. There's so many different parameters and factors that go into what it's going to cost you to run your ad campaign for a specific niche or product, that, if we try to discuss that now, it'd be a 24-hour long show this year.
That was nearly as long as the one we've done on PR.
Yeah, and we probably wouldn't even scratch the surface on that, to be fair. But yeah, there's so many different things that you need to take into consideration of why ads cost certain amounts for certain niches and certain products. And certain audiences as well, James. It can cost. It can make, you can pay you could be in sort of the insurance niche, and it can cost you some serious money for 1,000 impressions.
Yeah.
You can be in the how to make a chicken coop niche, and it can cost you,
That's a big market,
oh, massive market. But this is what it boils down to, James. What I'm trying to highlight there is it boils down to how competitive your niche is.
Yeah, absolutely.
That relates to the cost of your ads at the end of the day. Yeah,
definitely.
So hopefully that sort of gives people a good overview of what funnels are about, why they're important, why choosing the correct platform to build your funnels on is important, why funnel simulators are super important, and obviously gives them a few options to go and check out. Yeah,
absolutely, Tony. Now, again, I'm going to throw something into the mix here, just like you done on the call with Cyril, because I'm just thinking that we could maybe help some of our listeners. And again, we've not got any offers here as such, but if anybody does want to take CloudFunnels from us, if they take the bundle, obviously, if you go and watch our video, and obviously you'll see the offer that we've got. There is a bundle offer there, isn't there, Tony?
There is, James, yeah.
There is. So what I'm going to offer is an additional incentive for anybody that does want that. And please don't just go and buy it because I'm going to offer you something here. But I bought the agency rights for GERU very recently. So if anybody decides to go and buy the bundle, because not only that, Tony's actually including free hosting in that video. So if you do need a product that's HTML and you'll need hosting, Tony's offering hosting. And if you want to get that funnel, as in like the full bundle package, I will include your own personal account for GERU, which will save you an additional $67 lifetime account right now. And again, that will be going monthly soon. So please don't make that your decision to buy it though. Make sure that you've done your own due diligence and you feel that it's for you. But if you decide to go for that, we obviously appreciate you supporting us and obviously supporting Cyril and his products. So if that's something that you fancy, then reach out to me personally and I will then set you up an account.
I will just say, James, that the free hosting offer was only during the launch period.
Was it? All right. Okay.
No, it's okay, because obviously our viewers and listeners, we really appreciate them. So they get special dispensation. Is that dispensation?
I'm sorry about. I didn't realize it was just then. So fantastic. So
our viewers and listeners get special dispensation. I think that's the word.
Right.
And I will honor the free hosting offer for anybody that does what James recommended, what James has just suggested. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate that, Tony. I didn't realize it was then, so obviously my bad. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, there is lots of options out there, guys. Do your research, work out what works best for you. But if it feels like a good fit, then reach out to us. And we're trying. What we're trying to do right now is give you a ton of value. We want to make sure that you are loyal to us. We're loyal to you. We want to give you as much value as you can. We want you to like, share our YouTube channel and our podcast, and we want you to kind of get us out there to share with other people, because all we want to do is just give value upon value upon value.
And any funnel questions, James, guys, comment below the video. Me and James will personally respond.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we'd love to hear, your questions and your comments. 1 about the show, 2 about funnels in this particular case, in this episode. So feel free to, drop those comments and questions below the video. Yeah.
And also, if you don't have any questions regarding funnels, but there's something else that you would like us to address on one of our videos, even if it means us doing something live on a share screen so you can actually see what we're doing, we're quite happy to do that stuff as well. But we just need to know what you want, So as I say, we're quite happy to kind of do what you're looking for, because ultimately we're here to serve.
Yeah, and I'll just finish on one other thing regarding funnels, James. What I would say to our viewers and listeners that are just getting into funnels and educating themselves and starting to build funnels, in the first instance, work out your budget. Don't go doing an impulse purchase on a product that you can't afford in the long term. Yeah.
Yeah.
Work out your budget and look at the alternatives. Look at the options available within your budget and stick to that. And some of the options we've mentioned, you know, may fit into that category for you. Go and check them out. Look for other alternatives online, but stick to your budget, guys. Don't we go doing an impulse purchase for $2.97 a month for this all bells and whistles funnel builder that you're going to be able to afford for 2 months, and then you're going to have to stop your subscription and you lose everything. It's just pointless. That
those $600 would have been better spent getting good hosting, getting a one-off product. And okay, you might need to, and more to the point, you might need to do a little bit of work. But if you don't have the skills, you're probably still going to have another $300 or $400 in the budget there, where you can go and hire somebody on Upwork or Fiverr or some other kind of platform like that to actually do some of the stuff for you if you need it.
Yeah, but James, with products like CloudFunnels, WordPress, with Elementor or another preferred page builder, you know, all these resources, they all come with pre-done templates.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to start things from scratch, guys.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, even I can tell you now with Elementor do funnel kits, and yeah, it costs you a few dollars. It might cost you $40, but you're getting pre-designed funnel pages for every step of your funnel. Wow. If you need more steps, you just duplicate a page.
That's excellent.
So you can build quality, professional-looking funnels for minimal cost, guys. Yeah. So again, I will reiterate and stress: do your budget first and stick to it. Yeah, look at the options within your budget.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, we can all throw money at things and then think, oh, what have I done? You know. But yeah, and remember, they talk about it's easier to save $1 million than make $1 million. So if you can be quite canny with your money and not throw it all hoping that somebody's going to, it's not like a boomerang where you throw your money out and somebody's going to bring it back and it's going to hit you 10 times on the back of the head. You know,
James was all about that, guys, with him being Scottish. The Scottish are known for being thrifty.
Well,
but I will agree with him and say, guys, don't get into the trap of subscription, because before you know where you are, in the blink of an eye, you'll be paying $1,000 a month out.
Yeah,
unnecessarily.
Absolutely.
If you're unsure of what options are out there, what to go and look at, what's within your budget, ask questions below the video. We're more than happy to help you out and point you in the right direction. Yeah,
absolutely, 100%. Well, Tony, this has been a really interesting subject because, as I say, people kind of, again, SEO doesn't excite me, but it serves a purpose. But going through a funnel, I mean, I'm going to be honest and say that, see, when I go through a really good funnel, I add the funnel to my favorites, because I know it sounds really sad, but I'm quite inspired by how one thing leads to another.
Here's one final tip for our viewers and listeners, guys. If you want examples of funnels going back for years or new ones on a daily basis, go to munchai.com. Go and look at the products that are being launched every day.
Yeah.
Go into the JV pages, and you will see the funnels. You'll see all the funnel steps, the price points, how other vendors are laying out their funnels. It will give you great inspiration, guys. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, Tony, I think this one's been great. Thank you so much. Again, as always, a fountain of knowledge. And I've really enjoyed this one, because, as I say, there's a lot of things there that I wasn't aware of, you know, especially I wasn't aware of those other funnel simulators, and I didn't even know that Elementor had funnel packs. So there we go. But as I say, you can't be all things to all products, you know. So as I say, good to know it. Excellent.
Just finishing on one thing while I remember, yeah, another great, if you're going to use Elementor or Thrive, I think they're the main two page builders for this particular site. But another website that does amazing funnel packages is called the Landing Factory.
The Landing Factory. Okay.
And particularly for Thrive, and particularly for Elementor, they do some really top quality, affordable funnel packs.
Could you go check that out? The Landing Factory.
And guys, you can import these into Elementor or Thrive in literally one click. It's that easy.
Yeah, it seems to be kind of predominantly for Elementor and Thrive, as you say,
Yeah.
Tony. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's thelandingfactory.com.
Yeah.
And beautiful templates starting from as little as
again, another. I keep remembering stuff, James. Sorry. another one that I will mention. It's related to WordPress is OptimizePress. Yeah, especially the new 3.0, which has really gone full on with funnels. That's another, again, it's not a one-time payment, but it's affordable annually. And that's another great option, guys. I use OptimizePress for certain projects, but go and check OptimizePress 3.0 out as well. Again, I'll put that in the recommended resources. But that's
just buy one now, guys. Don't listen to Tony. He's making you want to buy all these things. Just find one and stick with it. Just now, I'm not suggesting our viewers and listeners buy every single one of these, James. But you can never have enough options. That's very true. But it sounds as if I'm in Curry's right now. All the electronics.
What I will say about OptimizePress and the vendors behind that product is they're great vendors. They look after their customers. They're constantly updating that product. The fact they're on version 3 now says it all, really, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's been around for a long time, and they're constantly improving things. And the reason I mentioned that during this funnel episode is because they've really added some great new functionality for funnels in version 3. So go check that out, guys. OptimizePress 3.0.
Awesome. Well, thanks once again, Tony. And again, thank you, the viewers and listeners, for tuning in to another episode of Those Two IM Guys. We really appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you very soon. Take care, and bye-bye. Bye.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Take care.